I feel like I always play good defense. I just feel like here the culture is different. Here everything is different, especially with the guys I have behind me. It's not just me out there on defense. We got Draymond, we got Steph, we got Kelly doing a hell of a job. The guys behind me, I know they got my back, and it's great here. It's great.
That's Andrew Wiggins.
Isn't that sweet?
Casting a little shade.
Isn't that
the
sweet?
Previous culture he was part of.
Things are great in Golden State. Isn't that nice?
Well, first thing, just off that soundbite for a second here. What drives me nuts is he's guilty of this. I've seen other players guilty of this. When you are the number one overall pick, or you are a highly signed, big money free agent, when someone puts a huge resource on your name and brings you in to be a centerpiece, and then you talk about the culture is just, no, it's, I don't really like the this or that's like, dude, like you had a chance for years to influence that culture as the number one bleeping pick and the guy that people were looking at.
He didn't care. But get to the what we saw yesterday, because this is beautiful. I think this is hilarious.
So when you Google, we got tipped off. A couple people sent us articles yesterday and we're like, I'm sorry, what? So when you Google Andrew Wiggins trade, or when you Google Andrew Wiggins name, here are some of the featured headlines that pop up. Warriors fleecing Timberwolves becomes clearer every day. Andrew Wiggins has untapped potential. Andrew Wiggins is finally breaking out. An all-time heist. All-time heist.
Okay. Brock Bruglio, Wiggins D'Lo.
That's not even the best of it.
Babe Ruth sold to the Red Sox, or sold to the Yankees by the Red Sox.
This is from NBC Sports Bay Area. I'm going to read this verbatim. And it's funny because Judd floated a couple of those Babe Ruth to you're joking.
Yes, I hope so.
This is NBC Sports Bay Area, and this is not an ironic article. This is not satire.
No, it's very serious.
This is dead serious.
It's very serious.
It was apparent the moment it happened, but it's becoming clearer with each passing NBA game. On February 7th, 2020, Warriors president of basketball operations, Bob Myers.
Bobby, I call him.
Bobby.
Might as well have put a rubber Richard Nixon mask on, marched into Gerson Rosas's office, and robbed the Minnesota Timberwolves general manager.
How dare you reference Point Break in an Andrew Wiggins article?
He simply left D'Angelo Russell behind to lighten the load in the getaway van. Myers acquired Andrew Wiggins and a lightly protected first-round draft pick from the Timberwolves in exchange for D'Angelo Russell, who never fit with the Warriors anyways.
That's probably true.
It was a heist that would have made Danny Ocean smile and been given the Neil McCauley stamp of approval.
All right, first of all, you're not allowed that many movie references per piece, okay?
Come on.
Number one, you're not allowed that.
I read this, Judd, and I was like, wow, okay. I watched the first Warriors game, and Wiggins looked awful.
He was awful for 2 games.
I had read these headlines in this article, and I legitimately have not. I mean, I've followed the box scores a little bit, but I haven't watched much Warriors basketball this season. And my first thought was, whoa, what am I missing? Is he have they gotten the second coming of Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
Do you walk into that arena?
No.
What have I missed the last 3 weeks?
No.
He's averaging 17 points on 43% shooting, 4 rebounds, and he's blocked a few shots in the last couple games. He ranks 185th in the league in win shares. He is the exact same player with a couple more blocks, and he's made a couple more 3-pointers than usual in the first 10 games. He's an inefficient volume scorer who shows spurts of defensive engagement, and this article is what comes out of that first 10 games or whatever he's played.
It's 11. First of all, it's 11 games. He's played 11 games this season with Golden State.
11. Okay, 11 games that are just like most of the games he's played previously.
Yes. Second of all, when it comes to the trials and tribulations of Andrew Wiggins, forget D'Lo for a second, okay? Let's just go with him. Let's just ride. Let's not make a comp in the trade. Let's just ride with who he is, what he brings, and how he consistently throughout the course of his career has set you up, the fan base, for disappointment, right? Andrew Wiggins If these people did any work to look at his past, to look at the present, to look at what he's doing, will never qualify as even close to a heist. He is going to disappoint. He is going to go through a stretch of games where he basically becomes disengaged. And the other thing is, those terrible first 2 games were probably important because I'm sure he got pulled aside, right, and talked to. I mean, this is
external motivation.
Yeah,
external motivation.
We have seen this play on Broadway and off Broadway play out in front of our eyes more than anyone would care to admit or think. I forget D'Lo, forget the whole trade. Just look at the player. It's never going to change. It's never changing. That doesn't mean he won't have a long career. And he is going to, speaking of heist, he is going to clean up on his employers contractually and make millions and millions of dollars. He already has, right?
Yeah.
But how can 11 games into a season, how in good conscience? I mean, okay, I can see saying, hey, he had a bad first 2 games. And after that, he's played pretty well. He's played okay. Like, that's fine. But this author who's saying Bobby Myers came along and picked Rosas 5, and I'm not defending the Wolves. D'Lo's defense at times is despicable, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not defending them.
Too. Yeah.
What I'm defending is my brain and eyes did not deceive me for 6 seasons of the underachieving bust that Andrew Wiggins truly will always be.
Dude, they're calling it an all-time heist. An all-time, and this is like, these are multiple articles. It was one on Yahoo. It might just be a repurposed version of this, but like Warriors fleecing Timberwolves. A fleece. Listen to the language here. A fleece, a heist.
Yeah.
Breaking out. This is the type of language you use, and this is what happens when you set the bar so low that literally, like, brushing your teeth and getting out of bed in the morning warrants celebration, right? Oh my God, Wiggins blocked 2 shots. Let's celebrate like it's the 4th of July. He grabbed a rebound. Oh my God, it's a heist.
And that quote that Dex played, that solidifies to me nothing's changed.
Well,
nothing. It's always somebody else's fault.
The environment.
I'm good. It's the conditions around me.
Right. Dude.
BS.
You brought up, like, speaking of heist, you brought up the fact that he's gonna be pulling money from ownership groups for a long time, right?
Years to come.
So he is the 29th highest paid player in the NBA. So he is one of the, like, there's 30 teams in the NBA, right? So he's one of the highest paid players in the entire league. He's not quite, he makes like $30 million. I think that goes up to 35 or something by the end of the contract. He's the 29th highest paid player in the NBA. And we are literally celebrating, woo, this guy blocked a couple shots the other night. This is amazing. He makes more money than Giannis and Damian Lillard. And people celebrate, oh, he's shooting 43%. Oh, yeah, daddy needs a new pair of shoes. Wiggins has figured it out. Come on. And you mentioned D'Lo. D'Lo has flaws. Like, he couldn't defend a broomstick at this point if he tried.
It doesn't really seem to care to.
And he goes rogue offensively sometimes. And so, like, this isn't to say that D'Lo is this amazing player. He's got flaws too. For what the Wolves are trying to do, I think D'Lo is a better fit. Plus, they've been there, done that with Wiggins. If this trade leans in favor of Golden State, it's because of the first-round pick.
Yes.
That, like, whoever they get with the first-round pick.
If that guy turns into the next Klay Thompson, then yes,
for sure,
you have won the trade.
Yep. So, like, that's but if the Warriors have fleeced the Timberwolves, it's because of that, not because of Andrew Wiggins finally shooting 43% and blocking a couple shots last week.
But I'm sorry, after 6 years of watching this guy play, he's not changing.
No,
like, he'll go through spurts. We saw him. He'll go through spurts, but this is one where I'll go to the cliche of people don't change. He's not changing. He's always going to blame other people. He's always going to claim when he's playing well, of course, this is me. Yeah. Like I've seen the act on and off the court so many times. I mean, go back to his I think it was 2 years back, after the Wolves beat somebody and Wiggy in, Wiggy fashion went off.
Yeah.
I love my shot. I love to shoot. I love my shot. You are clueless. You might be a good guy. I have no clue. But as far as basketball goes, right? You are clueless. You are not motivated consistently, you have a world of skill. You will never apply it. And there is a reason why the day that Gerson made that trade, Wolves fans, for the most part, were absolutely thrilled, even giving up a lightly protected first-round pick to be able to dump off that contract because you were thrilled to dump off that player.
Yeah. You know, it's amazing.
So I read that and it just boggled my mind.
This dude is, and he is a nice guy. That's why I feel a bit bad. We had that sit down a couple of years ago, a little kumbaya. I challenged him a little bit. He said, "Listen, this comes from a place of caring, and so I will entertain this."
Yes,
but what if you gave him? Jarrett Culver is not nearly as physically gifted, I think, as Andrew Wiggins in terms of like how highly touted he was, and Wiggins can do some things on a basketball court that Jarrett Culver cannot. Culver is gifted as well, but because Culver is just like Culver's like, I can't really shoot that well. I'm going to keep trying to hone that. But what can I do? I can be an off the ball Tasmanian devil.
Yep.
I'm going to go grab 10 rebounds.
Play defense. Yes.
If Andrew Wiggins ever decided, you know what? I'm just going to be, I'm not the number one guy on a team anymore. And I'm actually cool with that. I'm going to be a Tasmanian devil. And the Warriors might say, well, defensively, he's been a Tasmanian devil the last couple of games because he has like 8 blocks in the last 2 games. And that's great. But like, he never grabs 10 rebounds in a game. I think he did it like 3 times last year, twice the year before or something. If he walked into a gym and said, you know what, tonight I'm grabbing 15 rebounds tonight.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to give my team a boost off the ball.
Yep.
And he just doesn't, because he doesn't.
But you know why he doesn't? So when you sat down and talked to him and challenged him loosely, at least, right? To say, hey, I've been tough on you. Here's why, blah, blah, blah. The reason why he doesn't have it in him to be that Tasmanian devil, as you say, is because his response to you was very, very wiggy, even keel. Like ordinarily, if you tell a guy, you got a world of talent, buddy, but I have criticized you because X, Y, and Z. The ordinary athlete sort of gets their back up just a little bit. I'm not saying that they explode or get pissed off, but there's an edge there to say you're wrong and here's why. Mm-hmm. I feel like he
agreed with me.
Yeah, but I feel like you delivered DoorDash to him. Like his response was like, "Hey, thanks, yeah."
And here's a tip for the criticism.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you. And that's why
5-star rating.
He doesn't have that next gear to apply the skills that God gave him.
A heist. An all-time heist.
And by the way, I am still thrilled, no matter what he does, that the Wolves dumped off that contract because I thought it was impossible.
Totally agree.
Mackey and Judd on SKORNorth.com and the SKOR